The Rap Roundtable.
Ah, yes. Another illustrious Monday night. I'm not at work. I'm back with my guys for the full marathon.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
It's your boy Jav alongside Cecilia Rap Snob, alongside Deanie the Balance.
Gang,
Shout
gang.
out to everyone who's been in the chat since about 7 p.m. conversing, doing their thing. We love y'all
Appreciate
for
y'all.
that.
Love y'all for real,
1000%.
man.
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
to all real humans. Y'all already know what to do. Hit the like button. Real
Get 'em up.
humans like. Real humans also run the comments up, subscribe, and hit the share button. Can't do nothing without the real humans. You could buy every stat you want to buy. You could buy every view, every subscriber you want. But the motion ain't real if the humans ain't real. So shout out to the real humans in here. WC, George Jones, Ricochet, John Z, Diego Ramirez, 88 Spence, Il
Salute.
Son, Yo, TNE. Who else is in here? You know, I want to shout everybody out. Jack Acronym, BT
Bayla, of course.
Building, Anthony Barrett, Lady Blue Fly,
Jermaine.
Scully,
Good folks.
Johnson, shout out.
Double barrel.
Dead
And everyone
ass.
else. Facts. Deadass Poet Society I think they was the first ones to tap in. Salute to those
Yes,
guys
yes.
as well.
Matt, what
I
up?
hope y'all endeavors is going well. I haven't seen too many posts. Let me know if y'all still potting, man. Hope y'all doing well with that. Fellas, it's been a somewhat action-packed weekend. And also be clear, you'll get 2 drops this week. We have episode 129, a fun episode, very comedic episode, but very
Yes.
informational episode.
Yes.
So make sure
Great
that y'all
build.
pull up this week. We got that on deck for y'all. We got a few things to talk about tonight. We're gonna talk about Drake in full crisis mode, and also getting toilet paper thrown at him. Very interesting.
Don't forget the bottles. Don't forget
There's
the
there's
bottles.
a bottle too. There's a conversation. There's a conversation about Black Thought being better than Jay-Z. We gotta have that conversation.
Well,
You know what I mean? We gonna have that conversation.
I'm here for sin on that.
Joey Badass is having label issues.
Joey.
You know, does Rock Nation need to save Joey Badass from his label purgatory? And then there's a conversation on the internet about who would win in the verses between T.I. and 50 Cent. There is a lot to talk about on this here Rap Roundtable. So again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe option, hit the notification bell, hit the share option, keep running the numbers up, continue to keep us in the algorithm so that we can keep bringing you this high-level podcast for the real humans. For those asking about Macito, he will be here shortly. Again, life is life. You know, we all have very active lives at the moment. So sometimes, you know, I told you months ago, the time is an approximation. It's not a literal. You know, always treat it like an approximation. When y'all say CPT, expect CPT. We can't just show up and go live right away because, you know, y'all might not even know we on the air. So we give you enough time to know, prepare, eat your dinner, you know what I mean? Clear your schedule, shit like that. But anyway, this is the Rap Snob. We gotta come to you first with this one here.
Yeah.
So since Macito's not here to defend his guy, Drake says at one of his
very
concerts,
convenient.
Right? Drake says at one of his concerts that he didn't get here by being a piece of shit. I got here by being good to people, being nice to people, and my karma is straight. That's why I'm still on stage in 2025. He said the karma is straight. Y'all can't drag him down. He talking to you, Sin. In fact, he ain't talking to me or Dini. He's talking primarily to you and the rest of the Kendrick PG Lane gang.
Listen, first of all, I don't understand what connection he's making to being a good person and not being a piece of shit and being on stage. There's plenty of terrible people who are artists late in their careers, complete pieces of shit, and they continue to perform. You know, shouts to Oasis and them. You know what I mean? Shouts to, you know, Morrissey. You know what I mean? Shouts to like a whole shitload of people that are terrible human beings, but continue to perform on stage late into their career. So I don't see the what connection he's trying to make there. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. Second, where is this coming from? Like, is this like a new PR campaign? Did he hire like a consulting company to, you know, try to like clean up his image a little bit and try to get him back into everybody's good graces? Because again, like I've been saying for like a minute now, his aura is on negative right now. His aura is past zero. That shit is subterranean right now.
Negative aura?
A sub aura, bro.
He got a subterranean. His aura is subterranean right now, bro.
Oh shit!
I be seeing that shit when I catch the train in the subway. You know what I mean? That's
The
what
atomic aura.
So, he must be trying to figure out some way to. Here's the thing I don't understand. Like you're preaching to the choir. Like these people are already here at your show. So I don't know who it is that you're trying to convince. But on top of this self-aggrandizing statement that he's making, then all of a sudden, like all of these different people start coming out of the woodworks, singing Drake's praises. Like this is so random. First it was Boss, who we're gonna be talking about on Wednesday, so I won't get too much into that. Like stay tuned for that. DJ Paul out of nowhere said, Drake is the best artist I've ever worked with, especially how he do business. Plus his power is unbelievable. Can somebody tell me who Yebba is? YEBBA?
I think if I'm not mistaken, I want to say it's a Afrobeats artist, but I could be mistaken.
Oh, absolutely not. This is a white lady.
Out of my age demographic.
This is a white lady. Blonde, pretty plain looking white lady. Anyway,
keep going.
Then and now and forever, the greatest of all time is Drake. This is a person that I've never heard of in my life, but and Complex is somehow involved in this. In this PR campaign, because like I feel like every day, if not, every other day, if not every day, I'm seeing a new Drake post, posting him in a good light, with positive words that either he's saying about himself or finding other artists or musicians or celebrities to speak highly of him. This smells a lot like just a PR campaign trying to get him back to to have people see him in the light that they used to see him in, because he has not been seen in that light for a minute, and I think it's actually getting to him, despite how much he'll want to insist that he's unbothered, that none of this bothers him, that I don't care if you like me, I don't care if you love me, like. We see through all that, bro. Like we see through the smoke and mirrors. Like this is clearly you trying to make yourself look better, feel better, get your aura back up, get people to look at you in the same light that they used to look at you in, because that hasn't happened for a while, and you know what I mean. And it's getting to the boy. It really is. I see it.
Deanie, man, what's up?
Sin's on to something. It definitely feels like. You know how somebody tells you, man, I just came back, I got all the hoes, and this thing ain't got no hoes. It felt like that. It felt like someone trying to prove something to you that you don't believe, but if I say it enough, maybe you'll start to believe it. That's kind of what it felt like. You
saying he on some Fat Joe story vibes?
Bro, with the Beijing and all, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Fat Joe. But I mean, when you look at this, bro, it don't look good. It don't look good. You can't say your karma's straight while you're in the middle of litigation, like suing for a rap battle. But what we will not do though, we will not gonna act like there would not be a slew of people that would have good things to say about Drake. He's made a lot of people a lot of bread, bro. Like the Drake stimmy was a thing, Like I'm not saying like he just made an artist. Like obviously we'll get into it when we talk about here on 129, but like there's certain artists, Migos still would have been a great group. But being on the song with Drake kind of like catapulted them into like the ears of like millions of people overnight. You get what I'm saying? The song still was fire without Drake, but with Drake, the song just took off. And I remember that when that song dropped, I remember the time. I remember like we was outside during that time. You know what I'm saying? The way that shit fucked up the city, and just a bunch of other fucking features that he's done for people that kind of like put them in the light. Not even on the map, but in the light. Anybody will respect a feature like that. Like two things can be true about Drake. He can be an asshole, but he can have put people in position to get a buck. And I think that's what the bosses, that's what the who's the other person you just mentioned?
DJ Paul.
Shout out to Memphis. Like getting like those people, like I'm sure he's made money with Drake. And Drake loves Memphis. You get what I'm saying? So I'm sure he's put and work with them, and they've made money and they've benefited, and they've, for all we know, maybe that feature with Drake or something could have been like the most productive shit he's ever done as far as like sales and notoriety. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying these people feel like, yo, I'm gonna speak up for this guy in a term where everyone else in the world's kicking his back in. So someone feels like he's doing a good job at something. But I believe it's sucker shit. In terms of karma being good, let the people speak on behalf of that. You know, like you don't have to prove to us that your karma is good. If your karma is good, bro, we'll see it. You get what I'm saying? Other people speak on your behalf, like they've been. You don't have to say shit, especially when the things you're saying look like they're in direct conflict with kind of like how you've been living your life. Like Drake has done crazy things, but the lawsuit, bro, the hip hop lawsuit is the thing that I just find like that's the one I just can't work around. You know, like any real bail, I truly would want to shoot him. It's almost like against my soul. You know how we grew up. You know, it's against my soul to kind of vouch for some shit like that. Because if I support that, that's a lot of shit. I mean, imagine all hip hop goes into litigation like that. Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Fat Joe we got to call lawyers for Fat Joe and fucking Hov when they were shooting shots at each other back in the days, and all the real rap beefs like Hov and Nas. They got like it's too much, bro. I think
Fat Joe and 50 and all of that.
Fat Joe Fifth, Dipset and fucking and Nas, like just how many times that people just shot shots at each other? What if he said like, hey, or even when with Cam and the whole they threw up the rock in DC joint, you know, like if that was like litigative shit, we'd be fucked, bro. The culture itself would like cease to exist. I think you just need to be quiet, Drake. I think you need to just let the music speak for itself. Let the fans speak for you. Just be quiet. Like, where's Mace, man? Yo, Mace
been on the way for the last 10 minutes. You know, it's starting to give business decision, but
waiting for the next segment.
You know, but this is a tricky one. You know, I see both sides of the equation because, like, this whole idea, we gotta, you know, I know, like, Sincere Rap Snob, I don't, as much as he claims to be fair, we don't expect him to ever be balanced when it comes to Drake. If there's one topic where you can't expect balance, it's gonna be that topic. So I'm not gonna even take points off of Sid's scoreboard with that. But I'll try to be balanced with this situation.
I don't see where I was unfair.
When I give my perspective, you'll see. I just feel like because for the whole notion that it's a campaign of people trying to speak highly of Drake, I just think that's a bit heavy-handed. That's my opinion. Since I reserve the right to disagree with Sincere. Drake does have friends in this industry, you know, and at a certain point, there was a point in time a year ago where it was very unsafe business-wise for you to come out and be Drake's friend and not get canceled, dragged, or laughed at on social media. So business-wise, a lot of people had to clear out of the way. Shit, we're still seeing right now in real time that it's still a tricky proposition to be in that man's orbit. There hasn't been this rush of collaborators running back to link with Aubrey. You get what I'm saying? Like it's been very OVO heavy for Drake recently. Mm-hmm. But the idea that he doesn't have friends or there's people who wouldn't speak on his behalf because he's probably had real life links with this or moments. They broke bread. They made music together. They held a vibe, so on and so forth. I'm sure there are tons of people out there that have had this experience. So I can't necessarily pshaw people who want to speak out on behalf of. Unless you sign the Dreamville, we'll talk about that on Wednesday.
But
if you're affiliated,
if
you're affiliated, I don't know.
If
you're
affiliated, I just remember being featured now
with Dreamville. I can't say. Okay. But it's like there's people who love Drake. They love what he stands for. They love the emotional side. They love that he don't like model women. That he like his women chubby and very busty. They like the everyman energy in that regard. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't. That particular part of the conversation, I'm not going to take points off the board from because he does have friends. So, but on the flip side of that, where I do agree with Sin, it's like what made you say that? Why are you saying that? Like you worked so hard. Like, you know, like the whole Ric Flair. It's so hard, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You tried to be Ric Flair for so long to where now you've been forced to admit You've been put in the Taz mission, like that shit where they put you in a crippler crossface and a sharpshooter at the same time. They done put you in a submissive state to where now you're not bothered. You are bothered, and you got to say, I am a good guy, and that's why I'm on the stage right now. Who says that in the middle of a concert? Who needs to decree that they're a good guy in the middle of a concert? So it's like everything that Drake does, and I wish Macito was here, you know what I mean, ducking the fade. At this point, I'm talking shit about Mace now. He's ducking the fade, talking about, oh, my phone just restarted, I'm going to be there in a second. Bullshit, you ducking the fade, Mace. I'm exposing it now. We're going behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? At this point, everything he does to me just reeks of, you were better off just rapping, bro. That was it. Like, you doing all of this shit. The litigating, the on stages, all the weird antics, the I'm gonna show you, the Pinocchio chasing you now. Dog. All you had to do was rap. R.A.P. Put some beats on, spit some bars, throw a couple of Franks, throw Franks at Kendrick's fan base, because my guys are better than your guys, and then you could have right back to business as usual. But you fought and you fought and you fought, then you cried and you cried and you cried, and then you sued and sued, adjusted the list. It ain't like he put it in one little situation. I feel like this thing has been adjusted like at least twice since it initially hit the fan.
No
so you keep amending the litigations. You are utterly ridiculous.
It's bad. It's bad.
He keeps saying, and another thing. And then going back to the lawyers.
Also.
You know what I mean?
How many times you gonna go to the supervisor? How many times? I'm over it. I'm completely over this situation.
Yeah.
Well, and look, it's like there's really no way to separate his statements that he's making and the way that he's acting and like his actions. There's no way to separate those things from the entire past year going on a year and a half now. As much as he keeps saying, like, or I guess maybe not even him specifically, but his fan base, the OVO base, everybody keeps saying, oh, they dragging it on that side. Oh, like, get over it already. Like, you know, let's talk about the numbers. Let's talk about the hits. Let's talk about, you know, the streaming, the monthly listeners and whatever. If only Drake himself would take that advice, because if he would just shut the fuck up and just keep performing, keep going business as usual, like basically like what Hove did. Hove still, you know, he put out like a record here and there, but for the most part, you know, going forward, Jaden, you know, there was no social media back then, but he wasn't going on any media talking heavily about the battle. You know, he moved on to the Black Album. He moved on to Blueprint 2. Like, he didn't keep saying or doing things that would remind people of everything that's transpired for the past year or so. You know what I mean? And it's odd to me for somebody that I feel like wants to move on from the situation, keeps harping on it and keeps like calling back to it somehow, right? You know, people might say like, oh, he's just talking about like how good of a person he is. Like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, within the context of things, like he's clearly been called out for being, you know, a kind of a piece of shit in the industry and in, you know, in the game. So for him to like just kind of randomly make this statement, and now all of a sudden, you know, Complex is reporting every other day a new person that has kind words to say about Drake. Like, I don't get it. Like, just keep doing you. I mean, Nokia, you almost had it with Nokia, bro. You was right there.
Well,
you know what I mean? What did I miss? Was right there.
People
are
saying people are saying that in the past, Hov wasn't called a pedophile, so it's like you can't. It's harder for him to. I said the whole world. He wasn't called a PDF, so it's difficult for him to move on. So maybe that's where Aubrey's getting stuck. But I just think that's all emotional stuff. Like, so what if he called you a pedophile? Just throw the Frank. break the glass.
He's not ready.
Okay,
he's not ready, Joe.
Okay,
he's not ready.
Let's be real though. Let's be honest.
He's not ready, Joe.
A year plus later.
There you go.
Are we still? Are we still harping on the fact that he was called a PDF? Like, is that still a thing?
I mean,
that still calling him that?
That was substantial.
Is that still?
Yes, Sin.
That was substantial, Sin.
Yes,
Sin. That was substantial, bro. Come on, Sin.
Come on, Sin. Don't be that place,
Sin,
bro.
me and you were in a stadium. We were in a stadium of 80,000 seeing A minor, bro. Like
the song still.
That was different, Sin. That was different.
Sin. Like we can't do that, Sin.
The song still hits. And I'm just saying, are people still like outside of the song? Are people still running with the whole PDF joke?
All Drake joints got to be 40 and up.
That must be seeing something I'm not seeing because I'm not.
They
I'm
took
not
him
seeing
out.
it.
Absolutely. You want to take in some comment sections?
Come on, Sin. They be cooking that kid, bro.
I'm not seeing it. They be cooking him for other things now at this point. You know what I mean? The lawsuit and everything, but not the PDF thing.
But to John's point, he's not ready. Mace, in fact, you know what?
What did I miss?
Clear it out.
I'm just
you got a lot of explaining
to
do, Kadari. You got a lot of explaining to do.
Listen,
we're just trying to figure out why Drake does protest so much about his.
He's not ready to be the true bad guy, B.
His clear karma and how good and altruistic of a person he is.
Not often do I get to sit back and the fellas get to speak first on the OVO Drake situation. I'm usually the opening bars on it, so it's interesting to hear how the fellas feel first. You know what I mean? Before I go on my on my rant. But listen, there's a couple ways to address this, right? Firstly, as far as the whole the on stage karma rant, like, listen, that's on brand Drake for me. You know what I mean? Like that's what we like to hear. We like to hear an emotional Drake. We like to hear a sick Drake. We've been saying for so long the tough guy shit was an act. Let your true feelings come out, Drake. You sad? You mad that your friends left you? You know what I mean? You trying to say I'm nice. I've done everything I'm supposed to do. My chakras are aligned. I don't know why they're attacking me. You know what I mean? That's good Drake. You know what I mean? That's first of all. So as far as that's concerned, I don't feel like it has any determination in what, like, you already got smacked in a battle. Everything happened. So, it is what it is. But as far as the mindset, you know what I mean? I get, a lot of people are on the side of, oh, he hasn't learned his lesson yet. You know what I mean? What has he gotten out of all of this? You know what I mean? He's not a better guy. I could care less about that shit, to be honest with you. This, as long as he's not up there, threatening lives, you know what I mean? In the, remember the bulletproof vest with the smoking bullet holes, guys? That's what we don't like. Okay? So, I gotta say, excuse me if I'm coming in here and I'm, shaking the table a bit. Sin, it sounded like it was a little bit of cope in your argument. It sounded like you were a little bit upset that, the tide, you. The snob.
Copium.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't even use that word, but it's true.
Wow.
Listen, what it seems like to me is that the tides are turning. Sin, that
the tides are turning.
Wow.
People are finally saying, you know what? It's safe to say that we like Drake. It's safe to write good things about Drake. It's safe to say that Drake helped me. And it seemed you getting a little shaken up by that. Is that where the Kendrick fans are coming from? Are you a little nervous about it? Do you feel, the OVO on your heels, man? What's going on?
So let's see. It's so far it's been Boss. All right. Name me a Boss song.
Boss.
I'll wait.
Fitness legend.
Sin. Stop spoiling the next episode.
I'm chilling.
Fitness legend is crazy.
DJ Paul, his word holds weight. His word holds weight.
Yeah, that's a fact.
DJ Paul, bro.
All right, and then
that 3-6, man.
I don't know and have never heard of. Apparently, according to some people in the comments, she has been a feature on Drake songs in the past.
I think CLB, she was on that.
CLB,
yeah.
And excellent feature.
Right, and people are saying that was like the best song. So her claim to fame, apparently, unless anybody tells me,
was a lob from Drake,
is a Drake feature.
Okay,
you forgot about 600 Breezy.
Who?
Yeah, that who?
Come on.
Look, man, not a single.
Listen,
outside of DJ
I didn't
Paul,
say it was all A-listers, all right?
Yeah,
is really holding any weight for me. So, like this literally feels like Drake sent out.
But if some names that did hold weight came out, would you give a fuck though?
I think that Iceman is around the corner.
Hold on.
If Nas came out and said, "Shout out to Drake."
Hold on, guys. One voice, please. One voice.
It feels like Drake sent out a mass text and was like, "Yo, can some of y'all like
support?
Yo, but this is what I'm talking about.
Yo, the support group text.
No, Diddy, that's what I'm talking about.
Come to my defense, please.
Nah, bro.
Because it's hard out here, man.
Nah, bro.
Sin found it every way.
Every way, bro.
To respond.
Come on, Sin.
Sin always looking.
Nah,
we got hit. It's a rare time, but he's earned his fucking mute today.
You weren't that, bro. You weren't that, bro.
Even Jordan got ejected every now and then.
Oh shit.
Hey, yo, damn. A hater? What's going on here?
I mean, to your point, Joe.
Cross into my world, man.
That would be the best way to go to be the asshole. But he just not like May said, the bullet holes and that's not him. Like that would be throwing the world to Frank. Like, you know what? Fuck everybody. I'm ice cold.
Right.
Everybody hate me. I'm the Iceman. Like, but that's not Drake though. Drake is like LeBron bad guy. Remember when LeBron was the villain? It's like that. Yeah. Hey,
like to me, this is right up the block. I can't sanction what Mason's saying. Like, although I did give Drake some bail, at the same time, to me, this is the next evolution, the next iteration. Like you go from the bullet holes to this. Wow, my karma's good, nigga. The fuck? Shut up, bitch. Like who's like? Cause as men, if we was in a group, in a friend group, and y'all niggas came and like, oh, what are y'all doing? My karma's good. I'm okay. We call you a bitch. Like, what you sound like right now? You know what I mean? You sound real
pick a side,
right
bro.
The fuck you talking about?
Pick
my
a side, bro.
Good. Like, boy, no, your karma's not good. That's why you're in this right now. When you have to verbalize how good your karma is, that usually means your karma is in the worst possible place.
That's what I was saying earlier, bro. If I gotta let you know what time it is, that ain't the time it is. I just think he's not built for the villain arc, bro.
Everybody knows that, man. That's just common knowledge. Like anytime you hear somebody like I'm a good person. I treat everybody great. Like if you
name me one person y'all know that said I'm a good person that was actually a good person.
That was actually a good person.
That's facts. At best as I tried, man.
Nobody, you know.
I tried.
Come on, okay. Yo, Sin, hold on. You know what I mean? But Sin, I like what Mesito did there, you know, because I do think, you know, when I see Moni trying to stir the pot, yo, listen, I see you got permission from your TDE cousins to come to our chat. It's cool, you know. Huh? You know, leave JoeyBada alone. Like we get you on Wednesday's episode, so you in the wrong chat. Pull up Wednesday for the slander that I deliver. But anyway, Cecilia Rap Snob, you posted something about like people throwing things on stage. What's going on overseas?
Oh, listen, no, go to Mace for that, man. Like,
wow. Damn,
your man's getting pelted with objects.
Pelted.
You didn't tell me you was going overseas, bro.
You getting toilet paper thrown at him? I seen some about a
Poland spring bottles.
A water bottle.
It's looking crazy though. The disrespect is wild.
What's going on? Like, let's be clear. Let's be 100% clear. Like, no matter how I feel about any artist, I don't condone that level of disrespect because you literally you are there to go there. Fan, you paid your money to go there. If you're not a fan of an artist, like, what kind of loser shit is that to pay money to go see that artist just to disrespect them? That's crazy. And to disrespect them physically, you know what I mean? That whatever object you're throwing, that's an extension of you. You might as well like be slapping the motherfucker.
Do we know what city that was?
Mad disrespectful. I don't know. But that being said, like that's my question. What the fuck is going on out here? Like, is that how people are feeling about Drake out there? Like
the energy is nasty, bro.
Is that the level of ire that they have?
There's a. Don't get me wrong, bro.
That's why I wanted to go to Mace. Like what? Like
there's a level of people who basically grew up on this guy. You get what I'm saying? So they have ties. It's different when the music cuts on and it brings you back to moments. Like if you're like I said, if you're like 25, 30 years old, like the nigga's been the soundtrack to your life. So those people are pretty much gonna be locked in. You get what I'm saying? But the people like us, the people's a little older, who we didn't grow up on the nigga, but we just listen to the nigga for enjoyment when we do our thing, when we outside vibing, like it don't hit the same. You get what I'm saying? So we can differentiate, like, nah, this nigga's fucking up, and separate that from the music. When like this, it's like Mike Jackson, bro. When I used to love Mike Jackson, I heard all the things. It was very hard for me to separate that. Like, nah, not Mike. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with Drake. They can't let that go. You know, it's a different type of fandom, bro. 15 years, and the guy who's been like pretty much running. Say what you want, we dog him, but he was running the shit. You get what I'm saying? He was really running this shit for a good 10 plus year span. So if you're like at that age range, you grow up with that, that's your guy. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna knock them fans because they're stuck already. So I'm as far as the older niggas, or maybe the niggas who were just under that, they have a little more like insight on how this shit really goes and can separate the man from the music. Like you just can't do that if you're a fan. It sounds like you want the fan to do that. And the fans, they're just not gonna be able to do that, bro. I don't think they can.
Yeah, I just
Jarvis muted right now.
I was saying I went to the group chat to see the post I sent through in there. So it says London and Amsterdam. He was pelted with objects. I thought the man didn't love Drake. What's going on? Top 5 getting poked in his neck. Now this, what's going on?
Not to mention Kendrick having great shows in those very same cities.
No disrespect. No disrespect to the Kendrick show.
I had to, bro. Let's keep it a buck. I was there.
That context wasn't needed, bro.
What's going on, Macito? What's happening? Why are they pelting objects at the OVO captain?
This was a bit of an L. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Gave me Paul Pierce. Gave me Paul Pierce throwing his jersey to the crowd and them throwing it back vibes. You know what I mean? Embarrassing. You know what I'm saying?
Nasty work.
Not the first embarrassing moment Drake has had on stage. You know what I mean? We all remember the infamous getting booed off stage at Tyler's concert. Yeah. Listen, this is, this could honestly happen at every concert, but this is just like bad PR for the boy. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's just highly memeable shit. You know what I mean? That's in that part of the show is like the ending part. He like drifts off. They're playing Whitney Houston in the background. I've been to an OVO show or two. I know the routine, but that was a little embarrassing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't defend that one. If we ever go to the Rap Roundtable and podcast live and I get pelted with bottles of water, I'll feel like a loser. So I think that's how Drake felt after that one.
You know, like how mad do you have to make people who paid to see you for them to throw their bottles of water or whatever else at you? Like, this is crazy to me.
Could be a viral moment, nigga, though. Could be a nigga recording trying to go viral.
Could be, but I don't know.
Not throwing bail, but I can see a sin in there. Like, we pay this little $200 to get the moment of my life.
Don't do that.
Word.
Get this moment
Are you saying
life.
it was a Kendrick fan that bought
let me get this moment of my life.
Drake? That's very feasible,
record this shit, crack the nigga with a little Poland Spring bottle,
PG Lang!
Little Canada Dry bottle, shout out to Canada.
Logic free, bitch.
Viral moment.
Baby, why not?
Good. Some free Kendrick tickets down the line. Never know.
Oh,
it's a little crazy to pay money and then smack somebody with a bottle after the show, but maybe the show was bad. I don't know. Maybe that's how they felt after the show. Maybe that was like a reaction rather than, just we don't like you type of thing.
It's weird because it's always terrible when it happens. It's always like a cringy moment. I never thought I would see that happen to Drake. Just like I never thought like I would see Drake get booed off stage.
When they not fucking with you, they not fucking with you, bro. It can happen to everybody, man.
You hate to see it, man. Tough times for all. He's in Rome. They're singing this song. They speak Italian, and they're singing this song word for word in Rome, bro. That's crazy.
Sin is hilarious. I caught that.
You think those are bots? You think those Italian people are bots? No.
Italianos with the Badianos.
The people in Rome who was singing "Not Like Us" are those bots?
Wow.
You know, because let Club Paradise tell it those are bots. You know, so I'm just covering our bases here. According to academics, it's botted activity. You know,
Sheesh.
The Tyler thing. We never gonna give Tyler. We never gonna take points off for Drake getting booed at the Tyler show because they wanted to see Frank. What's his name? Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean.
They wanted to see Frank Ocean. They didn't want to see Drake, so they booed. I don't even put those boos on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, hit the like button, hit the subscribe option, hit the notification bell, run those likes up. If you haven't by now, hit the subscribe option. We're at 22,057 subs. You know, in a perfect world, I would love if we could get to 21,100 subs by the end of this stream. So if you're here and you press play and you haven't hit the subscribe option by now, let's get to 22.1K real humans.
What's up?
Okay? You're not gonna see one of our videos be live for like 2 hours and it'll be 7 views, and then you come back 2 days later and it's like 8,000 views, 300 likes and 1 comment. It'll never be us.
So that could be a lot of accounts.
Yeah, you know. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe option, hit the notification bell, and keep in mind, episode 129 drops this Wednesday. We're talking some Ghostface Killer. We're talking some Nas. You know, we're talking about Boz and Dreamville shaking ass for Drake. We got a lot to discuss.
Hey, don't bury the lead, man. Don't bury the lead.
Yeah, you know, they saw the comment the same way we saw the comment, but they're gonna put up the head what we gotta say about the comment, and it's very interesting. You know, shout out to the homie, real quick, Dama Dozen. Speaking of Dreamville, having a little kerfuffle with JID. JID deleted the tweets, but it got real personal on Twitter today, and I'd like to hear some music come out of that. JID says he won't rap, but we want to see it. You know, there's been a lot of momentum. Momentum's had a lot of momentum this year. You know, let's see if JID want to get in the ring and squabble up. He said he's, what do you call him, homeless Kendrick? That's what he said.
Diet Kendrick.
Diet Kendrick. So what was what JID said to Dom? He called him, like, he basically called him a bum.
Oh. Yeah,
he did.
Let me pull up the screenshots. This is nobody want to say that.
I'll
put screenshots up myself. Everybody could. You sent the screenshots in the chat, man.
The screenshot.
What you talking about? So JID says, "I will never rap against you. You are ass. I'm in your city, and they love me more than they love you. You butt hurt. Your career is cooked, and we the same age. Time to cut them locks and start changing oil. If I'm a Diet Kendrick, your whole life is just a diet. Nigga's stomach growling as we speak. Be a man." Woo! If you could type all of that, you could write a quick 16. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like that's a little like counter to JID's brand. I don't see him as like I would like to see it, but I don't see him as a battle rapper.
No JID drop.
I mean, nah, he stays shooting though. He stays shooting. Don't get it twisted. Nick, I'm maybe not. I'm talking about as far as jabs. It's like the way J. Cole shoots jabs. It's just whoever wants to take the jab. But he's shooting though.
Stylistically, seems like one of those super nice rappers that if they get in a battle, they wouldn't be super nice with. Like Wayne.
That's how I feel.
The flow is more than, you know what I'm saying? The flow is a lot. So if you're gonna take the flow with the bars.
A lot of flow and wordplay, but not, you know, like if it has to be directed at something specific, I feel like
the best.
Yeah, he goes so
he's everywhere,
much, like, off the top and in a like sort of train of thought type of flow that if you told him to like direct it at this person, it'd be like, shit, I don't.
Well, the tweet that prompted that response from JID was Dom saying, "Get off my page, little nigga. All flows, no quotables. Diet Kendrick. Damn. If you can tweet me, you can rap. Until then, shut the F up. That's my last tweet." Whew, it's kind of spicy.
Yeah,
kind of spicy, you know?
Caliente.
Can we get some bars? That's all I'm asking for.
Dom, what we doing, Dom?
Please.
So let's move on, guys. I know by now you guys have, hit the like button, subscribed, and et cetera, et cetera. At least I hope you have. And a topic came up from a person in the name of will.i.am from Black Eyed Peas fame, like the final, the final boss of the corny hip hop guys. Like, not, and when I say corny, I mean like not lame, but like he's not a street guy, he's not a swag guy, he's just a guy that loves hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So he's the final boss for that.
So much so that he got a white girl to join the group. And
right. He's the final boss. To me, like he the final boss, and Pharrell's like the hidden character that you got to do wild shit to unlock in that space. You know what I mean? You can't just get Pharrell. You got to do mad shit to get Pharrell. But to beat the game, you got to go through will.i.am. So he says Black Thought is better than Jay-Z. Consider Rap Snob, you are the resident Black Thought fan here.
Correct. Yes.
What are your thoughts and takeaways from will.i.am making these comments?
I'm here to tell you that will.i.am is bugging out.
Hold on, what?
will.i.am is bugging out.
Whoa.
Not what I expected.
Not at all.
will.i.am is bugging. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I love Black Thought. I will defend Black Thought to the earth and back. When we've had our conversations about Black Thought and our debates / arguments about Black Thought, I've had to come to his defense because I feel like there was some slander involved and aimed at his direction. There was a lack of respect for his craft and what he does. So yes, I'm gonna be the Black Thought, the resident Black Thought fan at this table. And I'm going to come to his defense each and every time if I feel like there's slander thrown his way. But Jay-Z is Jay-Z, bro. And honestly, I'm getting really, really tired. Like I'm almost there where Job is at now, because Job is the Hove fan. You know what I mean? He's the resident. He's the biggest Hove fan at the table. But I'm getting to where he's at because Jay's in my top 5. You know what I mean? And he's not 5 or 4. Jay, and I feel like somebody I saw somebody else say this recently, and I forget who it was or where I saw it, but because of all of the commercial acclaim that he's had and his ability to have been able to cross over and make these radio records and club records, people want to diminish his ability as an MC. Like, do not ever get it twisted. Like, Jay-Z is an MC's MC and will always be an MC's MC. Like, how do people forget what he did on Reasonable Doubt? How do they forget what he did on Volume 1? You know what I mean? I get that in Volume 2, he definitely took a direction where he wanted to be a little bit more mainstream and make more popular records, but he was still spitting on Volume 2. He was spitting on Volume 3. He was spitting on all his albums, really up until the Black album. You know what I mean? And I understand that, like, that line on I believe Moment of Clarity, that line will always live in infamy. You know what I mean? Dumb down my flow to double my dollars. Like, I get that. Like, me as a head, a backpacker, a purist, a snob. Like, that line will always rub me the wrong way. You know what I mean? It would always make me feel like, why you even have to say that, bro? You know what I mean? But don't get it twisted. That was a business decision that he made to be able to make the music that he wants to make and still be the MC that he wants to be, but still be able to, appeal to, a mass audience. You know what I mean? But as an MC, you know what I mean? Like, we could go down the discography, even beyond just his early records. Like, if you listen to, like, Ignorant Shit from American Gangster, he goes crazy on that. If you listen to what was that? I Show You How to Do This, Son. It's not the intricate level of MCing that Black Thought will exhibit. But if you listen to Show You How to Do This, there is a flow and a pocket that he establishes in that song that I don't think I've ever heard anybody else do. Like, the way he, first of all, it was super unorthodox beat to begin with. And then the way he leans into it and like, you know, it sort of settles into a pocket in a very unorthodox beat. That is masterful level emceeing. That is masterful rapping. That is an MC's MC. You know what I mean? It's not just about getting the standard boom bap beat and like, you know, doing mad multisyllabic, you know, bars over it, you know, for like 100 bars straight. It's about, you know, getting those unorthodox moments, those unorthodox beats and instrumentals, and, you know, transforming yourself in a way where you can still get off on those beats in a way that nobody else is going to. I couldn't, if and I keep going back to show you how to do this. Like, I could not hear any other MC do what Hov did on that beat. You know what I mean? And there's so many examples. I could go on and on. There's so many examples of beats that I could really only hear Hov on, and I could only hear how Hov attack them and approach them as an MC on, right? And so, again, as much as I love Black Thought in terms of like just pure spitfire bars, but there's so much more that encompasses an MC than just spitfire bars. You know what I mean? And so all respect due to Black Thought, but he's not as complete as Jay-Z. I'm sorry. He's just not. That is what it is.
Wow. I came in today fully expecting Sincere to be like, I've been waiting on this moment
Same.
forever. And he goes the other way. Just when you think you know, you don't. Macito, we coming to you with this one. What are your thoughts on this situation?
Shouts to will.i.am. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad he said this, right? Not because I agree, but because Black Thought is the nicest nigga that everybody who tells you how nice he is don't have him in their top 5, including you, Sin. Everybody who's ever told me they love Black Thought, none of y'all got him in your top 5, bro. You know what I mean? So I'm glad somebody was finally willing to put Black Thought in their top 5 on record, because they've been telling me how nice he is since I was a little tyke. You know what I'm saying? So
that sounds a little slanderous, Mace. That sounds a little disrespectful. He's not nice. He's not nice.
On Go Time tonight.
It's true. It's true. But so salute to will.i.am for being the one to say fuck it. I'll say it. You know, now I'm surprised neither of y'all mentioned the what people are most upset about is him saying 1 trillion times better than Jay-Z. That seems to be shit that got a lot of people are riled up. Like, you know, even if you think that 1 trillion, bro, like, you know what I mean? So I think a lot of people are like really emphasizing the fact that he don't just think he better than Jay-Z. He's saying he's dramatically better than Jay-Z. So that I feel like that takes a little bit of the air out of it, because at that point it clearly becomes hyperbole. I don't think there's anybody 1 trillion times better than Jay-Z that's ever rapped. You know what I mean? It's literally impossible. So that's you know, will.i.am lost a lot of people straight from that, right? And Sin did a great job, right? It encapsulating what's going on, right? Because will.i.am is kind of almost playing semantics with you. You got to watch these rappers, bro. They know how to use words. So it's like, is Black Thought better than Jay-Z? Maybe at what Black Thought does, right? Like Sin said, the spitfire, the endless bars, the type of shit, the real art of MCing shit that Black Thought does, that he's always dedicated himself to, that everybody agrees that he does at the highest level. Maybe he does that better than Jay. Maybe. It's possible. It's Black Thought, right? Super nice. But Jay-Z do about 500 other things better than him, right? Jay-Z and Black Thought, when they came out to the game, Black Thought had to make sure he made all his corner threes and made sure he locked somebody down. Jay-Z had to pass the ball. He had to facilitate. He had to be the clutch player. He had to get the boards. He had to call out on defense. Jay-Z, when he was making records, was responsible for a lot more than what Black Thought was as an artist. So it's tough to say, hey, Jay's not nicer than Black Thought, because Black Thought was always trying to super rap while Jay-Z was trying to make a hit here. He was trying to have a nice feature here. He was trying to introduce his new artist here. He was trying to get introspective here. Jay-Z had a lot more things that, in my opinion, he was attempting to do while recording. So it's a little bit of a slant to just say, hey, Kyrie dribbles better than Jordan, so he's better than Jordan, right? Nobody dribbles better than Kyrie, but that's not the entire game. Right. So that's why I feel like, will.i.am probably really cherishes that part of rapping, that part of MCing. So to him, that matters above everything, right? But to most of us, we feel like, yo, Jay-Z done rapped over Kraftwerk samples, nigga. Like Jay-Z done had hits with Maya that you remember. He done rapped like a Hebrew Israelite with Jay Electronica. He done went bar for bar with like there's so much shit that Jay-Z has done on the highest level that I can't account for Black Thought. Maybe I'm not as much of a fan, but from what I've seen over the years, Jay-Z just succeeds at more things at a superior level, you know what I mean? And his interviews are hotter. At least they were back in the day. I don't know about them new shits with the wild dreads, you know what I'm saying? But back in the day,
shit.
I mean, he gave Kevin Hart a good interview.
Oh shit!
I did like that one. The last 2 T's interview I wasn't feeling. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, but so it's like as much as I want to give Black Thought his flowers, he does do. You know what I mean? We love rap, right? So you have to respect the Black Thought and what he can do because he does that better than anybody. But it's Jay-Z we talking about, bro. It's just too many things that he just brings to the table. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a true GOAT candidate, somebody who I'm as comfortable not even being my favorite rapper. But if I got to argue a nigga as the GOAT, I'm very comfortable arguing Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Because of 10 more reasons than the ones I just named. So salute to will.i.am. Really might just be him trying to give his boy a shout out, but he got Black Thought, DMs and comment section looking crazy right now.
Yo,
Deanie, I want Sincere and Macito have done a great job of explaining. Yeah. So I just want to know how you feel personally hearing will.i.am.
I understand it. I see Mace's basketball. I see your reference, and I give another reference. Like in terms of basketball, to me, Black Thought is like Tim Duncan. You get what I'm saying? Fundamentally sound at everything there is to do in the game. He's got his rings. He's got rings. He's got platinum out. He got a platinum joint. He's got a critically acclaimed joint. Is world renowned as one of the dopest lyricists to touch a mic, like you said. Like everyone has him in there. Oh, Black Thought. But we always say that, but nobody knows no Black Thought bars. Nobody has no Black Thought quotables. Nobody has him in the top 5. It's like Tim Duncan. Like you respect the game, but when you if you go into see the Knicks and they tell you that the Spurs is coming to play, you most likely like, who? Give me more action-packed team. Give me more well-rounded team that got shooting, that got pick and roll, that got drip handle. I want to visually watch a great game of basketball. He's exceptional at the art of wordplay. You know what I'm saying? But that's and he has a great flow too. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. You get what I'm saying? Like he's in the same vein. Don't kill me for this. That I put like Andre 3000, where everybody ranks him in this high range, but no one ever quotes none of the bars. No one ever they speak about the art. That's important, bro. That's important.
We gotta stop that. It's not.
It's important, bro.
It's not.
All these years and no quotables.
It's not that important. Like
Black Thought been rapping since the dinosaurs, bro. Niggas don't.
Being able to remember certain lyrics does not make those lyrics better.
No,
it just makes them easier to recite.
Didn't say niggas know Nas lyrics line for line, bro. Get the fuck out of here, son. Niggas know Illmatic front to back.
Hold on. Deanie, I'm gonna pass it right back.
Because I got to dip, but go ahead, Joff.
I know I want you to get your final words.
Yeah.
But to say that might have been the most egregious thing you've ever said on this podcast.
Bro. I don't understand.
That's hella egregious.
Because we know the lyrics got to be dumb and simple.
Easy to recite.
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you take a JID, right? Because this is the same argument that people are having with JID. When you have an MC that goes on a stream of consciousness type of flow, it's hard to follow the stream of consciousness that they're drawing from when they write and when they spit.
Man,
you know what I mean,
you capping, nigga. You capping.
Yo, let me
capping, son.
No, let me finish my thought.
I'm gonna let you cook, but you capping.
Let me finish my thought. You know what I mean? So you have Black Thought in that category. You have Andre 3000 in that category. You have JID in that category. Some people, I know some people that have put Nas in that category. So there are people that will say Nas doesn't have quotables, and that's why Jay-Z is better.
My nigga.
I'm not saying it's y'all I'm not saying it's y'all doing that.
But you know that's just absolutely that's absolutely just insanity though. But bro, like when I look at Mobb Deep, there's 900 quotables right now off the back of your head. Shit, there's quotables on this Clips album. You know what I'm saying? Like things that people will quote today. Niggas been listening to motherfucking Outkast since like 1989, bro. Niggas don't care quote no bars. I put on any Nas album right now. Y'all niggas is quoting line for line. And Nas is way more advanced of a lyricist than him. So it's not the complexity of the lyrics. It's that nigga just don't want to hear that shit, bro.
He gotta go, so just let him just finish his point and then you can respond.
Nigga just don't want, or don't gravitate the same way.
There's plenty of people that want to hear Black Thought and that will gravitate to Black Thought. I'm just saying the way that he structures his bars is different than other rappers.
That's what you think?
Dini, what's your last thought? Because you got to slide.
Bro, 100 different thousand rappers have found 100 different thousand ways to line they shit up. It's just some shit stick with niggas and some shit don't, bro. Biggie was maybe one of the most advanced artists to ever touch a mic. Niggas can recite big words from line for line. Fucking Notorious Thugs is one of the craziest verses back then. One of the hardest to spit. You had to have breath control to spit the verse like Biggie, nigga. Niggas did it. I just think for 30 years of rapping, for no one to have what's the Black Thought bar that you be like, yo, bring me home. Give me a bar to make me want to come home. You know what I'm saying? For Mobb Deep, niggas hit you with there's a war going on outside. No man is safe from. You can run, but you can't hide forever from these streets that we done took. He could walk you through the verse. Where's the Black Thought verse niggas walked you through? Outside of motherfucking the shit with Erykah Badu, and that's the only part niggas know. If you know, y'all niggas don't know these niggas.
Yo,
getting close to
my nigga, I've been rapping. I've been this way, bro. I've been this way. Rap, because I've been listening to these bars, rapping these bars back to people before we even had cassette players, bro, to really like, yo, that nigga's nice. How you know he's nice? And you would spit the verse back. No one's ever spit a Black Thought verse like, yo, listen to this verse. Tell me this ain't crazy. Never, bro. In my 40 years on planet Earth, in the Gamma Quadrant, nigga, like I've never heard no one do it. Have you?
From the birthplace of hip hop, by the way.
The inability for somebody to recite a bar back to you does not negate that person's mastery as a writer or as an MC. It doesn't. It just doesn't
negate if we could do that with 1,000 other MCs, but we can't do that with that one MC.
That's fine. I could name you I could name you wild movies that I can recite lines from. There's plenty of movies that I know are better than the movies that I can recite lines from.
Okay.
That I know are better movies.
Here's what I'll say. Dini, you slide out.
I'm out of here, bro.
Be good, bro.
Y'all be good. I'll at me too to the chat, man.
Somehow, Sincere did the opposite of what I thought he would do. We still end up here. Here's the thing. I see both sides of I see both sides of the argument, but I kind of side with Dini only because I feel like specifically for the nice rappers, like a part of the appeal is what he's saying. And how it resonates and how it lands with you. So I guess for him, he's saying, if this nigga's as nice as I say he is, what is the bar that you heard that had you like, yo, this guy is wild crazy? Case in point, something very. I'm going all. I think I've told the story in the podcast before, but I'll tell it to you guys again. I'm gonna go way back in time. Like for the people who are from Brooklyn who know, there's a show called A&B Video. There used to be a CD store called A&B in Canarsie, a music store in Canarsie on Flatlands Avenue. And none other than Graf. Yeah, Graf, nigga, that guy was on that show. This had to have been like 1996 or 1997. He was on that show. And I remember he said a bar. He said, I let my gun fly. Like I was up in the plane and I was like, yo, like, I'm like 11, 12, and I'm like, that's a fire metaphor. And I'm just like, I guess that's what Dini is saying. Like, this guy, like, I know that from that point forward, I knew Graf was a lyricist. Even if I didn't know bars like that, he's saying some really clever shit. And that's why we always get mad about Lil Wayne when we talk about the like metaphors and this and that, because we lived through that. We lived through guys being wild nice with the metaphors, wild nice with the similes, wild nice with the flows. And they said things that had you like, yo, this nigga is wild nice, especially in our younger days. So I guess for Dini to say, how can you say Black Thought is dope, but you can't quote a bar or a line that had you like, yo, this nigga's wild dope, I could understand that because that's how Dini resonate with nice niggas. That don't mean that it's easy to recite, and I think that's a little obtuse.
Like, I'm just saying that there are, the way I see it, I mean, there's going to be more than two schools of writing. But
okay,
for the sake of this argument, there's two schools of writing. One where you try to make each bar land, or maybe not every single bar, but you set it up. You set up your bar so that, you know, on the fourth bar, the bar lands. You know what I mean? Or the second bar, the bar lands, or wherever the fuck. Like, you piece it together so that you have the setup so that the bar lands. You got the punchline, or you got the metaphor, or you got the whatever. You know what I mean? And that shit lands, right? But there's other MCs that just go off a stream of consciousness that they don't. That's not how they write. You know what I mean? It's a constant stream where it does, like, each thought leads into the next thought so much that it never actually lands on one line. It's just a matter of taking the journey with them through their train of thought as they're going through their verse. You know what I mean? And that's the type of MC that Black Thought is.
No, I respect that. I'm just trying to give Dini some bill because I feel like I kind of agree with them. And but at the same time, it's also, I guess, to what your point is about how you digest the music and the perspective that the artist is coming from. If Black Thought is not trying to beat you over the head with like similes, metaphors, and shit like that to have you knock your socks off, he's actually giving you very dense verbiage for you to break down, and maybe things you, much like Ransom to a degree, where it's gonna be things you're not gonna catch right away. You might not catch that bar till months later. So I can understand that. Mesito, you've gotten very quiet during this exchange. Where do you land with this topic?
Listen, you know, I already cooked, Job. I can't.
I mean, as far as Dini and Sincere's argument,
you know, I feel like, you know, knowing Dean, that's just, you know, like you said, that's just a criteria of his. You know what I mean? That's when he's judging his top artists. That's just something he do. It's like Sin. I know Sin discography is very important to your argument, and to some people might say, you know, albums from albums. You know what I mean? But I know to you, when you judging niggas, you like, nah, the album got to be. So I just look at it like a difference of philosophy. As far as, listen, I know one thing I didn't hear Sin give no Black Thought bars though. You know what I mean? So maybe Dean is right. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Black Thought is to me. Sin, I've been fucking with you all episode. Black Thought to me is almost, the idea of him is as important as him in general, right? The idea of this, you know, this nigga who don't give a fuck about the clout. He's the rapper in the band. He's not soft, but he not, you know what I mean? He not beating you over the head with some gangster shit. You know what I mean? Almost a blue collar lyricist. You know what I mean? For lack of a better term. So just like the thought of Black Thought is so important to hip hop, especially to niggas like us who are of the cloth. So I feel like he often gets put in these type of conversations, and we get forced to, you know, poke holes in his resume and say he ain't this, he ain't that. We rarely get to appreciate him. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I'm gonna see a viral tweet saying Black Thought is better than, you know, Nas and Rakim combined. That's the type of hyperbole you see sometimes, right? But, you know, I wish that, you know, and Sin does this, right? Whenever Black Thought drops, Sin makes sure he highlights it. So he's on the positive end of that. But I like to see niggas like Black Thought get highlighted, and not just comparison things, because I'm sorry, to the majority of us, he ain't on the same level as Jay-Z. They're not even on the same tier as far as lists go. You know what I mean? Jay-Z is a GOAT candidate to me. Black Thought is just not that for me. You know what I mean? So it's just, I hate to have to, you know, every time we up here, we're going to say something bad about Black Thought. Not that we do that, but that's the argument that's being forced on the public this week. will.i.am thought he was just putting Black Thought in the conversation, but no, now you got the majority of hip hop talking shit about him. So next time, will.i.am, just give us your favorite Black Thought bars Give us your favorite Black Thought songs. You know what I mean? Tell us why he's great and not compare him to, you know, the next guy.
So I'm gonna end it here. Where was I going with this? Shit, I lost my train of thought. So my Black Thought here's where I was going. My Black Thought fandom, right? So just so people can understand, because I seen, you know, a couple comments saying that, oh, now suddenly I'm a fake Black Thought fan, just like I'm a fake Nas fan.
Oh, God.
So right, so
they treat it like gangs, bro. They said drop your flag.
The Roots early albums in the 90s, you know what I mean, 90, 94, 96, 99, those were phenomenal albums. Black Thought, to me at the time, if you would have asked me then, I would have put him probably in my top 5 at the time. To me, the Roots albums themselves and the way that Black Thought approached future Roots albums, I wasn't as much of a fan in the 2000s. There's a lot of people that continued to be Roots fans in the 2000s, and there's some people that might put Roots albums from the 2000s above their 90s albums. To me, the 90s is where the Roots, like, you know, peak, right? There's a couple of things I want to point out. One, I did pull up a verse to one of my favorite Roots songs, Section, off of Philadelphia Half-Life, 96, right? And so, if you read off the Black Thought verse, like how he kicks it off, if you don't know the song, you're not gonna realize how ill it is. You know what I mean? But if I'm reading off, y'all know the dynasty, the Roots repertoire, the lieutenant from the reservoir served to spar, the injurer, predator of a competitor. I send him sees where the paramedics are. You know what I mean? Like, if you know how he spit it, if you know the cadence he had, if you know the flow he had and the pocket that he had and how he hit the beat, that's where I put Black Thought on a high level. So that's number one. Second, if you've never seen Black Thought, if you've never seen the Roots live, then you're automatically going to be, you know, at a detriment in this argument, in this debate, because the way that Black Thought commands the stage and commands the mic, pause, it's second to absolutely nobody. And if there's anything that I'm going to put Black Thought over on Jay-Z, is being a live performer. And that's not taking anything away from Hov as a live performer. He commands the stage in his own right. He's a great live performer in terms of commanding the stage. But Black Thought as a live MC, which at the end of the day is really where MCing came from, the stage presence, the stage performance, you know what I mean, moving the crowd. Black Thought is absolutely second to none as a live performer. And that's where I'll end my argument.
I feel like, and just to put a bow in it, because I never had a chance to like get into the Jay-Z and Thought conversation because Deanie took it somewhere else. I mean, and that was great. That shows the dexterity and versatility of our show. I think a lot of people don't understand that we really enjoy nerding out over some rap and having real conversations. It don't always have to be debates or Drake and Kendrick. You know, we actually do this too. But when it comes to this topic, I think this is to keep the basketball analogies going. Shout out to homie in Canada. To me, like Black Thought, it's like Jamal Crawford to me, and not verbatim. What I mean is Jamal Crawford is an all-time great. Like, that might sound crazy to some people, but as a six man, as a walk-in bucket, as a person who physically didn't have much degradation throughout his career, he retired on his own terms and is one of the most respected hoopers in the league today and in history. That's how I look at Black Thought. Black Thought is not gonna be the guy you build a dynastic championship team around. But if you need a six man that can help a team that has championship aspirations, him. And then there's moments where he could give you 40 and look like the best player on the court. Black Thought lyrically has moments where he is the best rapper in the world, but he can't make albums like some of the GOATs. He can't do what Big did. He can't do what Nas did. He can't do what Hov did. He could give you some of the most lyrically dense and some really unique sonics. Because he don't bore you to death like some other people who just pick really bad beats. But what he does in his lane, he does it at a very, very, very high level. And in that regard, is an all-time great. He's just not in the GOAT tier, and that's okay. Is there a song that if Black Thought, let's say Black Thought got on that album with Jay Elect and Hov, there's a chance he might have out-rapped Hov in that particular moment because he's fully capable of outplaying any GOAT on any given night. But what about the other nights? There's going to be a bunch of other nights where Hov is going to get hit more so than vice versa. And that's how I look at that argument, you know? And there's no crime against that. But shout out Will.i.am for giving us something else to talk about for a change as opposed to the usual stuff, you know? But why you ain't say Nas? Why everybody running to Jay-Z? Why you ain't say Black Thought better than Nas so the Nas fans can get up in arms?
Yo, can somebody tell me where this Can somebody tell me where this 50 versus Jay-Z thing started online? Wasn't that a thing too?
Yeah, I don't know. Look. And then Tony, since we here, Tony the Dome said that T.I. will beat 50 Cent in the verses everywhere except New York. Said he made some other comments, but I mean, I'll be frank with you. I don't really care about his other comments because my issue is not necessarily if T.I. could in fact beat 50 Cent in the verses. It's the fact that he led with 50 would only win in New York. And then I as a staunch New Yorker that I am, who gets into plenty of rap conversations with my guys, when did 50 Cent become the New York bubble guy? 50 Cent, if anything, is always for the outside of his mixtape run. Once Get Rich dropped, to me, 50 left the New York bubble and never came back to the New York bubble.
Listen, we was getting mad that he was. We were getting mad that he started incorporating the Southern drawl in his raps.
Poorer the richer. Come on now.
You know what I mean?
50 Cent has the highest commercial peak of any New York artist ever. There's never been a New York artist who sold 1 million copies in the first week.
And I guarantee you that was not,
say the most mainstream New York artist ever is, you know what I mean, would only win in New York?
Yeah, man.
Oh, that was. I thought you had more. I thought I paused. I was gonna say something. I
thought we was gonna cook in general, but listen. You know, it's funny to me.
You can't hit 2 jump shots and then pass the rock. You was already cooking.
You're right. I'm cooking. You right. You know what I mean? Jamal Crawford with it. I ain't passing. But you know, so that's that part of the argument already falls on his face, right? Like if basically to me what that says, if you say that about 50 Cent, you're saying that about every New York artist ever. Well, they would only win in New York. You know what I mean? Like who gets played in you know random German towns other than 50 Cent? Point. Like he's global, bro. He was with Eminem, my nigga. Like so.
It's really weird because like it's almost, and no disrespect to Prodigy, but it's almost saying like, yo, like 50 Cent is a Prodigy or 50 Cent is a Jada. I don't know, a Jada Kiss. You know what I mean? 50 Cent is a Fat Joe or like what like that. You can't go diamond.
Yo,
by only selling in New York, bro.
Yo, LP frying right now in the chat. LP, he a friend of the show, man. Leave him alone, man. Leave him alone. Leave him alone, L. Notice we ain't kick his back in. We being very polite about what he said. Leave him alone, L. Because you might end up collaborating with bro on your block.
That's a fact.
Yeah, he might end up on your block eventually. So be nice, you know. But
and
go ahead, Mace.
Nah, Sin was cooking, and it's like I feel like you entering this argument in bad faith, right? Because really, the actual truthful statement is the only place T.I. would beat 50 Cent in the verses is Atlanta, and this is why I just got mad at the comparison culture in our last shit because rarely do you get to discuss T.I. in 2025, right? We passed his peak. He's more of a businessman than an artist these days. People our age got to talk about what T.I. was like, you know what I mean, in his prime. So you will bring him up, and you bring him up immediately in comparison to somebody that's a bigger artist than him, somebody who T.I. admitted to himself. He was following his trail commercially when he came out because 50, was one of the first dudes in the 2000s that wasn't a 90s guy, right? So it's like, I hate that because I'm a T.I. fan, and T.I. can beat about 95% of these rappers in the verses. T.I. is no slouch. Say what you want about him. He is a monster in the verses, so I think that's what Tony wanted to emphasize. but you brought out the wrong guy, Tony, and you make us New Yorkers seem crazy to come out and have to defend the New York of it all, right? When, you know, y'all seen today, like 50 is somebody who, if you ask, wasn't Big Gipper just saying that we don't appreciate 50 in New York? That other places love 50 more than him? The dude who had a Southern accent, who had
Mesito, think about it. On a knee-jerk reaction, and as well. If somebody pull up to you right now randomly, you on a train, whatever, and they ask you, yo, who's your New York ghost? You know how many names you would get to before you say 50? And that's not to say the list is accurate, but he almost never pops in your brain as a New York GOAT. Your name, of course, your name, the big three, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas. You might hear a Ghostface or a Raekwon. You know what I'm saying? You might hear a DMX. You might hear a Prodigy, Jadakiss. You might even hear you might even hear a cat say Fabulous before they remember, oh shit, 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? Because he is so long. He transcended New York.
Yeah.
By the time Get Rich dropped, and I remember seeing this, watching Rap City and all them other shows, the Midwest, they love 50. The West love 50. The South love 50. He wasn't a New York artist anymore. So to say that he would only win in New York, it just was a head scratcher to me. It said, like I know y'all say New York be revised and shit, but it's like, are you 50 the one guy you can't play the New York card with? Because that man was a monster. 11 million sold. He was signed to a nigga. He was basically signed to a Detroit label. That wasn't a New York label. Shady Aftermath, West Coast Detroit. That wasn't New York. In fact, people was mad that New York didn't keep him in New York with the deal.
Listen, I'll tell you this. When he drops, let's say, let's picture the versus stage. When he drops 21 Questions with Nate Dogg, come on, man. Come on. And then when he drops PIMP, come on, bro.
And that's the thing. It's like people forget. Like, again, I'm not the...
Those are not New York songs, bro.
Right. Macito more the 50 Cent guy than I am. But even I know, if we took one lesson from the Dipset versus Lox verses, is that, a guy might have longer as far as longevity and more hits. Like T.I. had a great run before Wayne got him out of there. No one put the cape on for T.I. when Wayne showed up. It was almost like, thank you, you can go now. And it was never the same. Tell me I'm lying. Once Wayne took off, it was over with for T.I. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like between the mixtape songs, the G Unit mixtapes that went crazy, what was it? If he do the After My Cheddar joint, the LL riff.
Come on.
Remember how crazy that went? That's the sound of the man. You know what I mean? That come on. You telling me what T.I. gonna do with that? When mixtape 50 come out, what's he gonna do with that?
And can I tell you the beat drop on What Up Gangsta? When that beat drops, it's pandemonium.
The crowd
pandemonium, and that's not gonna be just New York. I guarantee you. What Up Gangsta? Like that shit resonates everywhere, bro.
Yeah,
absolutely everywhere.
Then the songs that he wrote for all these other guys that he was on, the Tony Yayo singles, the Game singles, the Lloyd Banks records, plus his own. I ain't even mentioned In the Club yet. I ain't mentioned If I Can't yet.
In the Club, one of the biggest absolute smashes of all time.
I Get Money.
You telling me Window Shopper ain't gonna go
and
crazy?
The remix, Window Shopper. What if he decides to do How to Rob? Like, how do you, if you have a How to Rob in the tuck, that's your underground come up song? How to Rob? I want to
make this clear because you see people, this is a problem that people don't know how to have real conversations. It's always either or. We're not saying that T.I. is don't got no chance. No one has even verbalized that. What we're saying is that to put 50 Cent in a New York bubble, considering what he did nationwide with the songs that I'm mentioning, is fucking ridiculous. Tony, you are fucking ridiculous for even playing that card as a rap fan. The thing is, Tony loved to backbite New York when he get ready. You know what I'm saying? I've told him about that on the pod. Because the thing is, he built his whole energy on a lot of New York. A lot of his content is New York heavy. But then all of a sudden, when it's convenient, he want to remember he's from North Carolina. And even in that, and I stand on that. Because it's like, for you to put this guy in a bubble, that means, how are you? It almost feels like you got an issue with New York rap fans. That's how I'm taking it anyway. I could be wrong. But it's like to do all of that and put 50 in that bubble. Not even, I can see you said Dipset, but 50?
50? 50
Like
is crazy.
You don't know me beating what from 50 catalog. The joint Rihanna is gonna clear. I'll give you that. Right?
Yeah.
Bring him out might clear.
Listen, he has a better collaboration.
Rubber Band Man is clearing.
I'll give him that.
Yeah, he does. Rubber Band Man is clearing anything 50 bring to the table. That other joint, what was it called? That's all my niggas know. That's clearing. Because I was a T.I. fan. Don't get me wrong.
What happened when that Wangster come on, though?
I forgot about Wangster. To me, this is like Miguel Cotto versus Floyd. It's a good fight for 8 rounds. And then in the midst of the 8th round, you realize, oh, shit, I'm fighting Floyd. I can't do nothing with this guy. I gave him everything, and I can't touch him. That's what it's going to be. Then the last 4 rounds, Floyd dominated. He won by decision. That's how I think a proverbial 50 versus T.I. will go. It'll be good for a while, and then you realize it's good, but it's not enough.
I would like to see it. Swiss, because I'm not a Justin Timberlake no more. Swiss, bring verses back. Get 50, get T.I., put him on the stage. Let's see what happens.
Tony, tell me who would win between Wayne and T.I. That's what I want to hear you argue.
Ooh.
From a somebody who was around that, you know what I mean?
He probably wasn't even listening to Wayne. I bet you about bottom dollar he wasn't listening to Wayne. But anyway, before we get up out of here, last topic, JoeyBada, you know. Oh, yeah. Mesito kind of teased it on the in studio that drops this Wednesday, and I said, Mesito, now we got to talk about this on the live. Does JoeyBada need Roc Nation to save him from Colombia? We go to our music industry, correspondent Mesito. Let us know. Is there an avenue where like, first of all, what's the issue with Colombia and JoeyBada? And can Roc Nation save this guy the same way they supposedly saved the clips?
Well, listen, I what's going on with Colombia and JoeyBada? All we have is JoeyBada's side so far, right? Album was supposed to drop August 1st, if I'm correct. And it's been pushed back at this point multiple times. Now, from what I'm hearing, is that Joey basically has been working on this album for a little while. Him in Colombia, he's been submitting the music, seeing what's been going on. But apparently it was like a softer focused album, like an R&B-ish type album. And Joey basically kind of went kamikaze, right? He came out on his bully rap shit, on his, you know what I mean? On a much more of a hip hop type of, perspective with his music. So while I haven't heard this specifically, I'm gathering that information. I'm thinking Colombia ain't happy with the direction that Joey is winning. Now, Joey, he's, rappers, no offense, I've been talking shit about rappers a lot this episode. Rappers are very, they don't never tell you exactly why they shit is being pushed back, right? He just say, oh, I submitted the music, they not putting it out, this, that, and the third. So Joey is not going in depth. He's not telling us, he's just telling us he's upset, right? But that's what I'm thinking, because the rumblings is that Joey kind of had to change of heart. When, shouts to Ray Vaughn, the type of vibe he was on when you seen him dancing with Diddy on a yacht, you know what I mean, in a good mood with the champagne in his head, you know what I mean? Real, weird vibes. But that's basically, the direction that Joey was going in. The unique from power, smooth type cat. And now he want to be on his hip hop, his rap shit. He completely switched up what he was trying to do with the album. And so Columbia said, fuck out of here. You're not Kendrick.
But Columbia don't got no motion. So what difference does it make if he changes the direction of his album? What difference does it make?
I agree, Joff. To me, if I have an artist like JoeyBada, I'm not expecting him to go triple plat, quadruple plat, right? This is somebody who's more, who's more emphasized for his art, for how, good the music is itself. So to me, when you sign an artist like JoeyBada, that's what you should be worried about, right? Especially since everybody's in the 360. So you're going to get some of the tour money. You're going to get some of the merch money. You don't got to worry about just record sales, guys. But yeah, to me, it's a bad move, but it could be a couple things, right? There's been so much shaking and moving within the music industry itself, right? We've seen the Atlantic regime change. We've seen, what's going on with UMG and Lucian. A lot of people feel like this is, ultimately coming from the Drake lawsuit, if we want to be honest, the entire record industry kind of being put on pause. Not everybody got Jay-Z and Roc Nation to make sure they shit drop, right? So a lot of people feel like that may be an aspect. But the music industry in general is in disarray right now, right? And Joey, while I agree with you, he should be able to put out his shit. This is what happens when you disappear for so long, right? You become... Your record label looks at you like you're not a priority. They feel like, okay, we can make quota without JoeyBada, right? So that's when you get in these type of situations. But I want to hear the music. If Joey if his music is what he was rapping like in this latest battle, I want to hear the music personally. But another win for the independent guys, right?
So I guess I'll ask you this, and then I want to hear from Sin. Is there anything about Colombia's history that says that they would do business with a Roc Nation to allow JoeyBada to make that kind of a move?
No recent history, right? And we could even say because the world famous Nas Def Jam deal, right? That was through Colombia, a almost like record breaking deal at the time. If I'm correct, it was $6 million for Nas. Def Jam and Jay-Z, or Def Jam, L.A. Reid, Jay-Z, they fronted half the money. Columbia fronted the other half of the money, and they collaborated on that. That's the big Columbia, I guess Jay-Z Roc Nation deal that's happened. But I can't think of anything recent. Of course, Roc Nation is known for trying to poach artists, right? So it could be some behind the scenes shit. That's happened with Uzi. That's happened with Meg Thee Stallion. That's happened with a lot of people, right? So that could be an issue. Maybe maybe he's been reaching out behind the scenes. But I don't want to put everybody blaming Jay-Z for everything nowadays. I like to keep my jigger slander, accurate. You feel me?
Talk to me, son.
Well, and that's exactly where I wanted to pick up was like for all this hate that Jay and Roc Nation get from the true heads, the underground heads. It seems like everybody wants to, be a part of it. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to go over to Roc Nation or get some help from Roc Nation. We just saw Conway sign some type of deal with Roc Nation. Benny's been there, the whole Griselda, shouts to Rome, Rock Marcy, like anybody that's anybody in the space of true hip hop, real hip hop, the underground shit. You know what I mean? They're still going over to Roc Nation, to whatever it is that they're assisting with. They're still going over there. Jay is still, trying to help the little guy out. If not him personally, then his company. I would love to see what JoeyBada does with a Roc Nation behind him. I would love, because to me, again, 2000, the last project that he put out, that was a great fucking project. It just didn't really have the push behind him and the marketing dollars behind it. You know what I mean? And Colombia has been problematic since, the Illmatic days. You know what I mean? So I would love to see it happen. I would absolutely love to see it happen. And we have to, if your favorite artists or the artists that you're championing are going to Jay and Roc Nation, right? Or hoping to get, that connection made for their own careers and for, to push themselves forward. We got to stop talking about them the way that we are, because like they're the ones that are really, pushing these artists forward and allowing them to shine. You know what I mean? No other label is doing that for them, especially not Columbia.
Yeah, and it seems like they're the only ones following a business model that would at least ensure that, the label will always be the victor for sure, but at least the artist will get some success along the way. In fact, I got to call the company man back because I sent them a text message earlier today it's about Roc Nation. Ain't no humble bragging or just trying to name drop, but it was because I noticed in the whip, I'm driving, and the intro for the Clips album is in radio rotation. You know what I mean? So I'm like, wait a minute. Since when they get this many songs in rotation? Because I'm pulling the album up right now. So you have the Birds Don't Sing.
Birds Don't Sing?
So Be It. The Ace Trumpets have all independently gotten radio play. I think The Birds Don't Sing is the latest single that I heard to get on the radio. And I'd read previously, and that's a song that can have legs. Much like you saw the joint, what happened with J. Cole and Benny the Butcher. Certain kind of rap songs can have legs with audiences outside of rap. And that the subject matter, the John Legend of it all, it could go far. But it's like, I'm like, wait a minute. Since when this song from the Clips, I said Pusha T had a hell of a great solo run. And he never got radio places like this. And I remember a couple weeks ago, I heard that the Clips album is doing so well that it's being added to radio playlists. And of course, it got to be the Rock Nation affiliation, the political arrangements that Rock Nation affords their artists. So it's like, at least, hey, we're going to make our bread off of you, but we're going to make sure that you make your bread. It almost feels like a lot of these other labels outside of maybe Interscope are just more concerned with keeping artists in debt. They don't even care if they recoup. Here's your whatever. We're not gonna do shit unless you prove yourself to be some sort of viral, and then we'll put them in shit. Like Mike Def Jam, they'll wait to see if you do something or you already have some kind of motion. Then they'll throw some paper at you. At least Rock Nation is saying you sign to us and we're gonna give you placements. You'll get in some endorsement situations. We're gonna get a return or ROI, return on our investment. And I feel like more labels need to do that. And if they're not gonna do that, more artists need to find a way to get over there. Even though Rock Nation is, quote, not a label, they operate kind of sort of like one. You'll be, quote, independent, but they'll make sure that the money that they put into you, they'll recoup it and you'll do well. And I think after Joey's battle, and it was a legendary one, and people kind of feel a way about it. People like Moni still mad about the outcome of it because her cousins lost. You know what I mean? Their newest act, no matter how much he screams on wax and goes and does interviews and tries to say he punked Rory and Maul, he lost. It don't matter. He lost to Joey Badass, right? If for him to not have an album out now, for him to not have visuals out now, to me, that'll be all for naught. The victory will be a fart in the wind. It'll be flying into a black hole. There's no sound. There's no nothing. So he needs to find a way to get over there, or Columbia need to cut the bullshit and let this man drop the music. Because if people are interested, and you only have one chance to make people interested in this current climate, once they lose interest, that's it.
And there's people in the chat asking about, but what about Mass Appeal? And we have to get this straight. Like, Mass Appeal is a label. You know what I mean? It's a record label. Rock Nation is more than just a record label. There's management, there's touring, there's like all sorts of other, ways that they can assist artists and push their careers forward. Besides just being like a home for their music. You know what I mean?
Right. All right. This was a clean pod, though. I got nothing more to add, Maxito. Do you have anything on this topic before we stick this landing?
Nah, y'all was cooking. The Mass Appeal point, I feel like, not really. Rock Nation seems like it's catering to, youngish hip hop more, and Mass Appeal is making sure that the classic artists get their respect. Much like, who would have thought that Jay-Z and Nas would still be the two pillars, making sure the young and the old get they just doing hip hop, right?
Yeah.
I love it. I love that the vets are the ones carrying the baton. I even heard today, I was listening to Gray Rizzy on satellite radio, and even he was talking about people I'm paraphrasing. I don't want y'all to get mad at Gray, but he was basically saying that people are waiting for a certain region to find their footing, waiting on Young Thug to drop. And I'm like, it's very interesting that these guys are struggling to really get ground. I saw a tweet that the company man quote tweeted where he was talking about Atlanta's not the same anymore. Niggas is not dancing. The vibe is different. There's no musical. You saw what Metro just did. That Metro album is tough, but it's not any real conversations.
People are a little upset with that Metro album, man.
Yeah.
It was all right, though. It was decent. It wasn't nothing, it was like a throwback to 2012-ish,
I think it was a misstep.
Fair play. Hey, fair play. Coming off of what he did with Future, I feel you should have raised the stakes. For him to go backwards, it's a head scratcher.
And he was trying to do the Kendrick thing, but Kendrick, when catering to his region, looked to the future.
Yeah,
he catered to his view.
He ain't making no G-Funk album.
To the past.
This shit sound like LA right now. I always told y'all that shit sounded like listening to LA Leakers. That album,
but Metro made an album that sounded like 15 years ago, so that's why I say it's a mistake.
Fair play. Let's get to the super chat so we can get up out of here. Ariel Smoke says Drake and Trump both dodging projectiles. Is crazy.
Oh man,
that's wild. Dave G says, I think Drake needs to play the villain role and hug the hate. That's what I've been saying the whole time. Nobody listens to me. M. Marquis says, nothing better than listening to a loser whine. I mean, yeah, it's funny. Jeremy Cole says, hope the TP helps with all that crying, Aubrey. Wow. Middle finger emoji is crazy.
I love it.
Humble Bragger says, PDF shit still lingers because the PDF jokes were already happening before the battle, so Mace and Dini need to knock it off. Oh, Humble Bragger. Well, static.
Spicy.
Staticky. DJ Jammin' Jimmy says, you got to change his name. DJ Jammin' Jimmy, I don't like that name. Drake made the mistake of confusing making money for other people as a form of loyalty. Sim been saying that for a long time.
Oh, man, he thought the stripper was in love?
Yeah. Down with Dixie $10 says, remember when Drake had the OV hoes throw objects at Pusha in Toronto? That's called karma. Very true.
Wow.
Very true. Humble Bragger says, so what you want? Ye, not Dot would have gotten booed at that Tyler show because Frank Ocean didn't come out. Whoever that wasn't Frank Ocean was getting booed, bro. Yes. Y'all don't understand Frank Ocean fans. That's a different type of audience.
And Odd Future fans.
Okay, thank you. What you talking about? Down with Dixie says, I meant OV ho. Sorry, fam. We know what you meant. We appreciate that extra $5 though, gang. Salute.
Word.
And T Mac pulls up with a $20 holler says, when will Charmin Poppy stop trying to summon mosh pits and concentrate on the music? Charmin Poppy is crazy. Wow. Besito, since Dini not here, take us home, bro.
Hey, man, salute to the chat. You know what I mean? Y'all was cooking this episode.
500 likes.
Yeah, that 500 likes. You know the base. We need 500 likes. You know what I mean? So make sure you like. Make sure you share. You know what I mean? Make sure we in the group chat right now. Send it right now, right after we go off. Make sure you sub too, because like Job said, we would like to see the 22.1. You know what I mean? The table is getting bigger. You know what I mean? We gotta go head to IKEA. You know, salute to Dean, man. You know, he had to cut out. You know, he said we won the game in 3 quarters today. He didn't need to play the 4th. All right. Salute to Sincere the Rap Snob. He produces. Yes. Super producer, Sincere Beats. Try to stay off his.
All at me.
He got a new beat out right now. If you go watch our IG story, he got a new beat out. If you know an artist who needs that for the right price, he can make his shit tighter. You know what I mean?
And stay off his fucking lawn if you know what's good for you. Shouts to Jov, the point guard back. The point guard back. We got 2 point guards. We like, you know what I mean? We can't. The lobs were immense this episode. Shouts to Jov. The GOAT in about 5 games, you know what I mean? You might see him on TV, you might hear him on the radio. That's because he's the God, you heard? We are the Rap Roundtable. We appreciate y'all every week. Make sure we got 129 coming up later this week. Tune in. Anything y'all didn't hear about today, y'all probably gonna hear about them. I'm Macito. I talk a lot. I look a lot behind the scenes, but I'm still here for y'all. You know, we are the Rap Roundtable, and I believe we're out of here.
Yes, sir. Salute y'all. Be good. Stay